Alright guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over a story titled, Am I the A-hole for not wanting to give my girlfriend an expensive engagement ring? And guys, this story is about a guy, he's about 26 years old, so is his girlfriend. He's been with her for like 4 years, and he's obviously ready to pop the question. They obviously been discussing this, and his dilemma is he doesn't want to spend a whole lot of money on this stupid rock, right? Guys, obviously, he's doing well for himself for his age, and apparently, according to him, his girlfriend is rather low maintenance. She's not a big spender on things like that, but the subject came up, and he wants to spend X amount, but she feels entitled to a ring much more expensive, and thus there's turmoil. And so I'm going to go through this, guys, and I will share my, no doubt, very predictable response to this scenario at the end here. But I'm doing this for a lot of reasons. But one is, a lot of guys watching this right now, whether you want to admit it or not, are one day going to meet some girl, and in spite of what you hear, you're going to go get married anyway. Or at least will be thinking about it. And this may be something you may deal with down the road. So it's good to hear a real life situation, story, and hear my advice, because a lot of you guys value it. And that way then you're a little prepared for such and such dilemma. So it starts off, he says, I've been with my girlfriend for 4 years, and we've recently been talking more and more about marriage. Smack. Although my girlfriend grew up relatively well off, for the time I've known her, she's been pretty low maintenance. She's never cared about designer brands, rarely buys new clothes, and the jewelry she owns was gifted to her. Well, maybe she's low maintenance and doesn't care about those things because it would be her spending her money on those things. But when it comes to engagement ring, well, that's different. I have a decent job, now $80,000 a year, and I've been saving for a while, but growing up in my family didn't have a lot of money. Dude, 80 grand a year for being 26 years old? Nice job. That's pretty darn good. My girlfriend and I have always seemed to be on the same page when it comes to saving money. I assume she'd be fine with a more affordable ring. Well, you assume wrong. When I started looking into rings, I discovered, let me see if I pronounce this right, moissanite rings, which look similar to diamond rings, but are much more affordable. I was looking at rings in the $1,500 to $1,800 range. Yeah, your typical girl nowadays, or pretty much ever, is not going to want some fake ring. They want the real thing. As the saying goes, diamonds are a girl's best friend. Even this low maintenance, super cool girl that he describes here. And to no surprise, wait till you see how he reacts. Oh, and by the way, notice how he said that he grew up, his family didn't have a whole lot of money. So he's been saving money and doing the smart thing, which I tell you guys to do. He's obviously doing well, 80 grand a year. He's saving his money. So he doesn't want to piss away too much on some stupid rock, which, if they break up, a lot of time the girl says, hey, it was a gift. I'm keeping it. In my opinion, it doesn't work out. She ought to give the ring back because it isn't a gift. That ring is conditional that she says, I do. Anyhow, when I mentioned this to her, she insisted she wanted a real diamond ring and sent me links to a bunch of diamond rings that she liked. The prices ranged from $6,500 to $10,000. I told her that I wasn't willing to spend that much. $10,000? That money can be put aside for a down payment for a condo or a single family home or something, or other things that as a married couple you could use. Nope. Common sense goes right out the door when it comes to that type of thing. I told her I wasn't willing to spend that much. She seemed genuinely mad and said it wasn't that expensive. Well, she grew up in a family of wealth. So $10,000 to her is no big deal, but for a guy that grew up in a family without a whole lot of money, it is a big deal. $10,000. What's he going to get? Where's his gift? If this is all about the time of equality, why should a guy have to fork over X amount of money for a stupid rock when he's not getting anything in return? And I want to hear, oh, he's getting her. No. So if it was fair, okay, I'll get you that $10,000 rock to put on your finger. Then you can get me a $10,000 gift that I want. And then we'll call it even. Nope, obviously doesn't work that way. We got in a pretty big argument over it. I told her that it was ridiculous to ask me to spend that much, and that I thought she was more reasonable than that. You were wrong, bro. Because they want to show that ring off. That's status. Look what I got on my finger. Has nothing to do with love, and it will be twisted around to make the guy out to be the bad guy, saying, well, if you don't buy me that expensive ring, then you obviously don't love me, which is complete horseshit. This guy's thinking logically and practically the way a guy should. I'm not going to spend that kind of money on some piece of crap ring. That could be used for something much better for us as a family. She's thinking, I wanted that to show off. These are signs of what's yet to come, regardless of how cool and low maintenance and frugal she seems to have been thus far. Because remember, all the other stuff had to be with her money. Wait till he gets married. Next thing you know, it's going to be, well, we can afford this house, he says. But no. She wants this house in this area, this neighborhood. Oh, okay, we can send the kids to public school. The public school system's pretty good. No. Our kids are going to the private school that costs X amount of dollars per year per kid. You see where I'm going with this? Anyhow, they're fighting and blah, blah, blah. She said I was being cheap and that I could afford it, and I was basically saying that she wasn't worth it. What'd I tell you? You know that advertisement from, I believe it's L'Oreal, that famous advertisement, because you're worth it? Genius, evil, but genius. I told her no one is worth a $10,000 ring. Well, way to go, bro, but that's going to come back to bite you in the ass. Eventually, my girlfriend said she didn't care and I should get whatever ring I want, but she's clearly still mad, and I know that this is going to be an ongoing argument. So pretty much she said, fine. And when a woman says fine, it's never fine. Or probably said, do whatever you want, which they don't mean that. So now there's turmoil. Maybe it's a good time to start reconsidering this whole marriage thing over this. There are people who disagree with me. I guarantee there are going to be women coming on here that'll watch this and say, no, SSM. Normally I agree with a lot of things you say, but you're wrong here. No, I'm not wrong. I'm a bit frustrated because it seems out of left field. I've always known marriage is super important to her, but I didn't realize she'd insist on a diamond ring. Again, diamonds are a girl's best friend. You've been with her 4 years, and now you're starting to see some of her true colors. This is why I tell guys, if you're going to get married, you got to be with her for years and have all sorts of different scenarios and situations arise to see how the woman responds to these things. Well, now you got one, and use those situations to see how she is, and a way to determine and predict how other reactions are going to be down the road. So this is about the ring. Now, what about the future house? What about the school districts or schools for the kids? You get my point here. So I talked to my older sister about it. Wrong. Big mistake. Who, despite agreeing diamond rings were stupidly priced, sided with my girlfriend and said if I could afford it, she didn't see the big deal. Of course she said that. She added that my girlfriend has done so much for me and I was being an a-hole about this. In the end, they're going to stick together because this older sister, mark my words, one day is going to want a dude to do the same thing. So if she says that no, he's not being an a-hole, and says no, get something cheaper or get rid of her, then she could start a domino effect to come back and bite her later on. So remember, guys, don't go to women and ask them advice about other women. You go to other men. He should have gone to a guy, and a guy would set him straight. Because he goes along with this. Now, he's in a trap now. He goes along with this after they had this big fight. Now she knows, oh, I got him to cave on this. Now I respect him less, whether she realizes it or not. What else can I get him to cave on? And she'll tuck that away, and they get married, and we're off. He says, what my sister means by my girlfriend doing so much for me is that she was really supportive when I was in a serious car accident 4 years ago. I broke multiple bones and required a few surgeries. Although where I live, most health care is covered, I was unable to work for a while and had expenses that I wasn't able to pay. I've been dating my girlfriend for only 6 months at that time, and she was really there for me. Well, that's cool. That doesn't mean you got to spend $10,000 on a stupid rock. I couldn't pay my rent, so she let me move in with her for free and help pay for a few expenses and for physical therapy I needed. She also helped me get a job where her uncle was the VP of an insurance company. He says it was an entry-level position, and I had a business degree, so it's not like I was unqualified. So, okay, his sister was referring to this, and that's cool. That's a good girlfriend. She was with him for all that and helped him. Cool. And so, therefore, his sister's saying, therefore, you owe her that $10,000 rock. to show her how much you care. He repaid her, mark my words, for years by being loyal to her, by not cheating on her, by being supportive and all these things. That's how he repaid it. Not by a stupid object for her to dangle on her finger for all her friends. And let's be honest, that's what it is. So that, remember, girls don't have friends, they have rivals, to show that and compare. Obviously, I thanked her for all she did for me, but it's not something we talk about very much. I don't think that I'm obligated to buy an expensive ring because she helped me out a few years ago. I agree with that, and stick with your gut feeling. But if my own sister said, if my own sister said this, I'm guessing my girlfriend must feel that way as well. Am I the a-hole here? No, because you've been a good boyfriend to her. That's what it sounds like, and there you go. And it's a stupid rock. Now, some people could say, SSM, you're a man, so you don't quite understand that. No, I understand a lot of things pretty darn well. Because, trust me, I have known some women that don't care about the rock. I've known women in my life that they don't believe me. They don't have a very expensive rock on their finger, and they didn't care. For them, it was the guy. They got themselves a great guy. They were appreciative of him and who he was and all that, so they didn't care. I've also known women that, believe me, wanted the big rock on their finger. And I might add, those marriages didn't work out very well. But the ones that didn't care, guess what? They're still good together and doing all right. And as for this whole, what she did for him back then when he got in the car accident, that's awesome. And so she was a good girlfriend then. But that doesn't mean he has to get her a $10,000 rock. So if I were this guy, I would not go to a woman, his sister, for advice. I'd talk to a guy. Other men, older, experienced, and see what they have to say. I would really reconsider if you want to get together with this woman. I get you've been together with her 4 years. You invested your time and all that. But this type of thing, it's a sign to show you what's yet to come. I mentioned the house. I mentioned the private school for the kids. There's going to be other things as well. It will not stop there at that ring. Mark my words. But ultimately, he has to make the decision for himself. But again, you see here, she came from money, so $10,000 no big deal to her. Well, it is to him. He's working hard. He's obviously on his purpose, doing well for himself. 80 grand a year, 26, cool. Putting away his money. That money is important to him. He worked hard for it. And he can take that money that would go on a stupid ring and invest it and watch it grow. So I would seriously reconsider spending a life with this one. Now, for fun, I always add a few comments. Now, here's the deal, guys. The comments are mixed, but a lot of the comments, to no surprise, are from women. And they are all making him out to be the bad guy because of how he's handling this. So I'm going to read them for fun and show you the mentality out there on this particular subject. Again, one, because it's entertaining, but two, it will help some of you guys out down the road, or maybe somebody's in this situation right now. So one woman says, she says, gently, you're the a-hole. I completely get not wanting to spend your money like that or put any coin into the pockets of De Beers Monopoly, but by saying no one is worth $10,000, you have inadvertently assigned monetary value to the woman you want to spend the rest of your life with. Of course, this commenter, who's a gal, is taking it that way. You both should sit down and look at alternatives together. Don't frame it as her not being worth it. Try to educate her on the unethical nature of the diamond trade and see if she wants an alternative stone. This is not about the diamond trade of this guy, unless there's something I don't know, didn't read. No, it's about the money. That's what it is. And it is ridiculous. And the whole, don't try to sit down and logically explain it to her. Good luck. For a guy coming from the perspective of logic or reason and trying to communicate to a woman whose language is emotion, it's like me trying to speak English to someone who doesn't speak English and speaks Swahili. It's not going to be absorbed and he won't get what I'm trying to say. So good luck there. Another woman says, yup, you're the a-hole. I mean, I agree with the original poster that $6,000 is a stupid amount to spend on a ring. But everybody is allowed to have one stupid thing. For her, it's a fancy ring. Okay, well then she can go buy herself her fancy ring. If everybody's allowed, by this logic, if everybody's allowed to have their one stupid thing, fine. Well, they're usually the ones that pay for that, quote-unquote, one stupid thing. This isn't a pattern of her wanting expensive stuff for no reason. This isn't a pattern of her wanting expensive stuff for no reason. It's one thing. OP, let's be honest, you have a stupid thing too. Everybody does. I don't know what it is, but it exists, and that's okay. Yeah, it's okay if you buy it yourself, but you don't ask somebody else to do it. Everybody's allowed to have a couple things they are slightly stupid about, and you're the a-hole for being such a butt about hers. Oh, for goodness sake. Being such a butt. How old are you? 6? Another woman says, and this is long, gently, nah, you're the a-hole. OP straight up, no one is worth 10K ring with a unhappy face. This woman helped you out when you were in a new relationship. She stood by you. Now you're trying to figure out what is the lowest you could go. That vibe is just off. Ugh, I'm in no way a gold digger. Yeah, sure. But this would make me rethink things if I were your fiance over the blatant lack of consideration how you appear to view her. Again, back to the whole, that's great she was with him and helped him out when he got in that car accident. That's awesome. But that doesn't mean he has to go buy a $10,000 rock. And making him out to be the bad guy is ridiculous. Let me break it down further. You make 80 grand a year. A simple Google search would show that the appropriate ring would cost at least 2 months of your salary. Who determined that? Who determined this way to calculate what a man should spend on a stupid rock? Okay? Probably the diamond industry. 2 months worth of pay, 2 months worth of, 2 months of your salary for that? Get the hell out of here. She says, because it isn't a casual thing, it's like a promise. To me, you cheapening out so much would signify a true lack of commitment regarding appreciation. How about he showed his commitment and appreciation by being with her for 4 years, by obviously treating her well, being loyal, not cheating on her, not lying to her, etc., etc. But do you see how materialistic some of these gals get, particularly when it comes to the subject of diamonds? Holy hell, OP, apologizing to your fiancé for your tactlessness now. This will already likely leave a stain on what is supposed to be a happy and exciting time. I feel bad for a fiancé. So there you go. 3 responses from the gals. Not very happy about this situation, but at the end of the day, they're all on the same team there. Because ultimately, they want some dude or some person, because maybe they're not straight, to give them that big ring and the big rock on there, and if they don't support this, well, that could impact them. But again, perfect example. If I was this guy, I would seriously rethink things future with this gal, given how she's reacting there, because nothing's more powerful than walking away. And I guarantee you, this guy just said, you know what? I think this is a sign of what's yet to come. This is ridiculous over this. I think it's best we part ways. And he walks away. That's it. He's done. I wish you the best. No phone calls, no emails, texts. Probably, even if she got really pissed off, next thing you know, because women cannot handle being rejected, she'll come crawling back. I want you, don't leave me, I'll have a candy machine ring on my finger. And then he has the upper hand. It's a gamble, but I'd walk away. But anyhow, that's just me. So, alright guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below and what you think about this. Let me know, guys, how would you handle it? What do you think? And if there are any women watching this, if you're so bold, you can comment there what you think as well. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.